Everyone missed this when talking about Dr. Hemlock. We saw something really huge in the latest episode, and we're going to break it down today and give you my theory as to what I think's going on. Welcome to the channel. My name is Jeremy. This is Force Fandom, a channel for regular fans who love Star Wars. Let's get right into it. We first meet Hemlock in Season 2 of Bad Batch, Episode 11, entitled Metamorphosis. And it's from that moment to now that we're starting to see some really intriguing and interesting things happening with Hemlock that I think give big clues as to what's going to happen and what's really going on behind the scenes at Mount Tantus. Now, we know from episode 3 that Project Necromancer is the main thing the Emperor wants to see happen, and it's all happening at Mount Tantus, and that many around the Empire might see what Dr. Hemlock is doing as an abomination. In the most recent episode of the Bad Batch, we see Dr. Hemlock holding his left hand. It has a glove on it. It always has a glove on it. And some have theorized that this is because his left hand is a cybernetic hand, much like we see in Luke Skywalker after he loses his hand. I don't think that's what it is. I believe there's something much more sinister to this very specific thing and gives a deeper backstory as to who Dr. Hemlock is, why he's doing what he's doing, and how far he's willing to go to make sure this works. Now, if you remember back to Season 2, Crosshair, again, part of the reason he's even in jail now, not only did he kill a superior officer, but then he tried to warn the rest of the crew about Omega being the target, that there was a danger for Omega. And I think going back to that shows us what's going on with Hemlock's left hand.
They have to hide. They're after Omega.
Having trouble processing the toxin. It's my own special formula. One I've built an immunity to. You, however, have not.
Side note, when Crosshair's trying to say Omega's name, he actually hasn't said her name in the entire series until this latest episode in Season 3. He tried to say it in Season 2, but gets cut off. He usually calls her the Kid. Just another way to show the progression of a character through 3 seasons, which I think is really, really good. And here we see that Hemlock has no impact to this toxin gas. Why? Because he's built up an immunity by microdosing himself. Let's go back to Season 3 now. What has been happening to Crosshair? Crosshair has been being experimented on, has been having injections given to him to test his blood, to see how things go. And what has the result been? A tremor in his hands. He's degrading as a clone in some respects. His ability to shoot clearly is affecting his hands. Well, what about Hemlock? His left hand. It may not be a tremor, but is it possible that Hemlock has been experimenting on himself as well? He's, I think, just crazy enough and just evil enough to start doing some of these things on himself when he thinks there's a possibility of even degraded midichlorians or some in his own blood that he can enhance or try to enhance his own ability to accomplish this goal. I don't think there is a length that Hemlock isn't willing to go to complete Project Necromancer. I think this makes him super dangerous, and I'm very interested to see how far he already has gone with the experiments. Now it's your turn to take to the comments. Let me know your theories. What's going on with Hemlock's hand? Is it just a cybernetic arm? Is it really just that boring? Or is there something more being weaved here throughout the storyline? I'd like to think it's more, but maybe not. Guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. If you liked this theory or you have others, let me know down in the comments below. And if you're new here, consider subscribing for more Star Wars content just like this.